Welcome. Let's take a look at our top story. Pakistan has boycotted the India-led SAARC meet on the coronavirus crisis. The video conference of trade officials of all SAARC member nations was called by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to discuss, cooperate and fight the ongoing crisis in SAARC countries. All member nations of SAARC agreed to have a discussion on the pandemic except for Pakistan. Islamabad has chosen to snub India instead of fighting the deadly coronavirus, and has politicized the meet by saying that the video conference could be effective only if it is spearheaded by a group from the SAARC Secretariat instead of India. The video conference of SAARC trade officials was convened to discuss the impact of novel coronavirus in the South Asian region and how the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, or SAARC, member nations could come forward with a strategy and contain the virus spread. The South Asian trade officials acknowledged the negative economic impact of the pandemic and will be exploring ways to sustain intra-regional trade to bear the cost of the crisis. On the 15th of March, in a similar video conference, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had appealed to SAARC member nations to come together and jointly fight the COVID-19 pandemic. Back then, Imran Khan had collectively snubbed all the heads of state by sending his junior advisor on health to the first SAARC video conference on coronavirus and had also raised the Kashmir issue. Meanwhile, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a $10 million emergency fund to COVID-19 in South Asia. In India, the lockdown is likely to extend as cases have now surpassed 5,500, whereas in Pakistan, the social distancing policy and quarantine measures have been tightened. In Pakistan's Punjab province, the ongoing lockdown was extended by 2 weeks after Chinese doctors advised shutdown to contain the virus. Positive cases in Afghanistan have also been on the rise. With Iran on the western border, the country's authorities fear that the outbreak could be severe with more influx of people. Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are also reeling under pressure, with cases now being close to 200. Other SAARC countries like Nepal, Bhutan and the Maldives have so far reported only a very few cases of infection and have not recorded any deaths due to the disease. The SAARC group, comprising of Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and the Maldives, are all reeling under pressure. As of now, more than 10,000 people are suffering from the lethal COVID-19, and the death toll has surpassed 250 in the subcontinent. Globally, the virus has infected more than 1 million people and killed over 88,000. Now, we are joined by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, on the phone line for more on this story. Good evening to you, Siddhant. Pakistan boycotting the India-led SAARC meet on the coronavirus crisis. What do we make of this at a time of international crisis?
Well, what Pakistan was keen to do was to use the SAARC Secretariat and use the procedures, the methodology like the rules of procedures to block any India-led initiative. We know what Pakistan has done in the past, using the SAARC Secretariat blocked important initiatives such as connectivity initiative. Remember, in 2014, the SAARC summit in Kathmandu saw the countries proposing a motor vehicles agreement in which Pakistan said that it is not feasible, and then of course it could not happen across the SAARC, but some countries went ahead with the entire project. So Pakistan wanted to do the same scenario this time also, and that is why India clearly described this as an initiative which was taken under the extraordinary COVID circumstances, with focus on result-oriented outcomes and not that the procedures blocking the entire move, whether it is the health officials meeting or whether it's the commerce officials meeting. We know the health officials meeting which took place last month, all the SAARC countries had participated, but when it comes to the commerce officials meeting, we know Pakistan completely boycotting, but it also shows Pakistan's intent, which has been to boycott or put a stalemate in any governance when it comes to SAARC, and that is why we have seen SAARC basically not being a successful body, and it has been more than 2 decades that SAARC has been languishing because of Pakistan's efforts, and because the government, the Indian government and rest of the governments in the region did not wanted that, and that is why all of these countries have went ahead with the COVID initiatives. We know that the Indian Prime Minister last month called for a meeting, and since then SAARC has been reactivated.
Right. Now, India has taken a global leadership role in the fight against COVID-19. Now, this, of course, being commended by many heads of state. Now, this is the second meet initiated by Prime Minister Modi. The first meeting, Imran Khan sent his junior health minister.
Well, yes, when it comes to SAARC, the Indian leadership started with SAARC and then went on globally from SAARC to G20, and now we know there have been reactions from US President, from Brazil regarding India's humanitarian approach. But talking about the regional initiative, the Indian Prime Minister had proposed this initiative through a tweet, and then the proposal was immediately accepted by all the countries. Pakistan was the last country to accept it and also sent a junior representative who, in fact, instead of talking about COVID, how to deal with the COVID response and a joint strategy, indulge in theatrics, which is mentioning Kashmir. So that shows the Pakistan's intent. And even as India has been talking about a global strategy to deal with the crisis, a regional strategy to deal with crisis, and propose, in fact, a COVID SAARC fund in which all the countries have participated, barring, of course, Pakistan. Pakistan has completely different priority. You know, over last weekend, there was a major counter-terror process in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, in which India neutralized almost 9 terrorists. This shows that Pakistan continues to aid and abet terrorism rather than focusing on the COVID crisis.
All right, thank you for that report. That is our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhan Sabal, bringing us the latest on Pakistan boycotting the upcoming SAARC meeting.